everyone, welcome back. You're watching Market Fatafat right here on ET now, where we are flagging off the big movers and shakers in trade. I'm Mubina Kapasi. The market's looking pretty okay, 0.25% higher. We're once again back above 11,600, so it's a bounce from the day's low of 11,576. The Sensex too is gaining 86 points, but let's see how the rest of the day pans out, because do remember we were seeing a similar move yesterday as well for the markets at this hour. But towards the end of the trading session, what a drop. Okay, well, let's start off with the countdown then by introducing first our research analysts as well as technical experts. So joining in is Soumya Sharma, and on the technicals, as always, Kunal Bothra. And today we also have with us Gaurav Ratnaparki from Sharekhan. So good morning to all of you. Thanks for joining in. Let's start off first with a big news maker and the big mover of today. That's India Bulls Real Estate. Two key reasons why the stock is moving. First up is the numbers. Very disappointing set of numbers, with the revenue declining 43%, profits as well down 94% on a year-on-year basis. However, the more important news is that India Bulls Housing Finance may actually be considering exiting India Bulls Real Estate, and to do so, it's actually considering approaching Blackstone, the major private equity player, to buy the realty stake. Reason being that India Bulls Housing Finance wants to adhere to all RBI regulations in order to get that approval for the purchase of Lakshmi Vilas Bank, which is of course something that it has its eyes on, and all the street as well is watching out for whether or not India Bulls Housing will get the RBI approval. So India Bulls Realty, the stake in the company, may be sold to Blackstone. That's an ET exclusive. Kunal, what is it that you're observing in the Nifty? IT so far, it's been quite a resilient pack, and today as well, it's outperforming.
Absolutely, Mubina. And at a time when the markets are a bit dodgy, there's volatility. This has been one sector which has managed to ride up pretty well. Now we are talking of the Nifty IT index, which is just about coming back to hitting its previous lifetime highs. I think it's around 16,400 approximately on spot level. So it's just about in touching distance of breaking that high. And looking at the way most of these large cap IT stocks are showing their chart patterns, TCS, HCL Tech on the verge of a breakout, even Infosys, which has managed to recover. I believe that this should be one sector which should continue to ride up higher even after periods of volatility or consolidation. So IT index looks pretty attractive even from a short-term view.
So the IT index looks attractive to Kunal. Soumya, today the cement names are down in trade, and I think mostly the culprit is ACC's Q1 numbers.
Well, that's right, Mubina. The entire cement pack is down today. Particularly talking about ACC, the results were not that great. In fact, the revenue, although they were up by 8.3%, they were pretty much in line with our expectations. Core EBITDA and margins were a bit of a disappointment, with margins being flat at 13.8%. The PAT was up by 38% and was in line with the estimates. Sales volume stood at 7.5 million tons versus 7.1 million tons compared to last year. Talking about this, Citi on ACC and Goldman, both of them are actually maintaining a buy stance. They believe that from here on the company could do a lot better than what it has done. They're still maintaining a buy stance on the stock, although the stock is reacting to the negative results, down by over 4.7%.
Okay, Gaurav, let's talk about ONGC. What a move seen over here for the last couple of trading sessions. Today as well, it outperforms, and lots of action on the F&O side as well.
Yeah, that's right. ONGC has given a nice breakout in the last session, and today we are witnessing follow-through on the upside. The stock was in consolidation mode for last few sessions, which has taken form of a pop gun pattern on the weekly chart. A pop gun pattern consists of an inside bar followed by an outside bar, and the pattern has turned out to be a continuation pattern in this particular case. So I'm expecting the rally to continue further, and today's intraday dip can be taken as a buying opportunity, and short-term target on the upside is placed somewhere around 180.
All right, so that's ONGC for you. It's still gaining 2%. But what's not gaining is Tata Motors, a 4% downtick witnessed in this one. And both Tata Motors, in fact, more than now 4%. It's 5.5% at the day's low at 218 rupees. And it's both the stocks, the ordinary shares as well as the DVR, that are among the top losers on the Nifty 500 index as well. The auto space in general is today one of the worst performing indices. I suppose you could attribute that to the fall witnessed in Tata Motors, which has been falling for the third straight day in a row, and at this level of 218, the stock is at a 10-day low. So big loser once again, Tata Motors. Gaurav, M&M Finance as well is seeing some hectic activity both on the cash market as well as the derivative market, and we are expecting the numbers as well to be out very soon. Your view here?
M&M Finance has formed a nice bullish triangular pattern on the Delhi chart and has broken out on the upside today. Even in the last session, it had formed a large bullish outside bar on the Delhi chart, which was suggesting that the bulls were having a strong upper hand in this counter. Even the short-term momentum indicator has started a new cycle from the equilibrium line. The Delhi Bollinger Bands are about to expand after a contraction, suggesting that a sharp move is in the offing. So all these observations suggest that a decent move is on the cards, and one can initiate a fresh long position at current level with stop loss at 419 and target on the upside will be 453.
All right. Kunal, here's another IT stock you're flagging off, HCL Tech. Your view?
Flagging of HCL Tech is on the daily charts, where you can spot that over the last 2 weeks, with the stock which rallied from 1020 to 1120, then went through a consolidation. It's a formation of a bullish pennant formation, and it's a very classical formation because the way the stock has rallied, the volumes panned out in that rally, and when the stock consolidated, the volumes ebbed off and dropped off significantly. So net, I think this is a very strong pattern in terms of the price fronts for HCL Tech, and a breakout above 1130, which should also take the stock to a new high, very close to the new highs. I think could be a very strong breakout, and that breakout, if it happens for HCL Tech, could lead the stock higher to almost 100-120 rupees. So it's a strong breakout. It's a big breakout in the offering for HCL Tech. Would suggest a buy above those levels of 1130 on the stock price.
1.8% higher for HCL Tech. We'll take a very short break right here on the show. Come right back. We'll continue to flag off more movers and shakers. Welcome back. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET. Now let's continue with the countdown of the big movers and shakers. Soumya, Maruti Suzuki today, along with the rest of the auto pack, is really falling. What's Kotak's view here?
Well, talking about Maruti, Kotak has downgraded the stock from add to reduce, and has also revised the target price from 7,500 to 6,700 per share. Well, they believe that there are concerns on volume growth on the passenger vehicle industry for over next 2 years. And they'll see the domestic PV industry would grow at muted pace. This is owing to the increase in costs related to safety and emission regulations, and also slowdown in the urban areas. They've further cut their EPS estimates by 10 to 12% for FY 20 to 21. Well, that's what the stock is reacting for. A downgrade by Kotak, stock down by over 1.2%.
Okay, very quickly, Kunal, your view on Raymond?
So that stock has broken some key support levels. 750, 755 was the previous swing supports for Raymond, and it's confirmed a break below that. So I believe that the stock could drag a bit lower. For short-term traders, I think another 20 rupees downside could be possible. So 730 should be a target for sell call on Raymond, and stop loss to be kept at 760.
All right. Adani Ports, meantime, the stock has managed to recover very smartly on an intraday basis, and now it's down only 0.4%. And steadily it's been moving up in the last 1 odd month. Gaurav, your recommendation here?
Adani Ports has rallied significantly since February this year. However, since last few sessions, the angle of ascent is declining, and the loss of momentum is visible in the short-term momentum indicator as well, as it has been showing negative divergence. In terms of price pattern, the stock has formed an ending diagonal pattern. As the name indicates, the pattern is formed at the end of the move, and in this particular case, the pattern implication will be bearish. So I'm expecting a sharp correction in this counter. The stock can come down to 355, and reversal for the bearish view can be pegged at 397.
Of course, we are also expecting results for Indiabulls Housing Finance. Soumya, what's the ET now poll?
Well, yes, we're expecting Indiabulls Housing Finance number. It's one of the biggest NBFCs that's going to start the trend for the upcoming quarter. We expect the PAT to be down by over 3.4% on a year-on-year basis, to be around 995 crore rupees, while NII will be down by over 6% to 1,504 crore rupees. Well, we expect some pressures on the spreads owing to the rising funding cost environment and the entire liquidity situation concerning around the NBFCs. Well, at the same time, disbursements are likely to improve on a sequential basis, since some of the liquidity concerns have eased compared to what they were at October levels. Apart from this, provisions would decline on a sequential basis. We are also looking for management commentary on AUM growth trends and guidance, and what's the update and progress as well as far as merger with the Lakshmi Vilas Bank is concerned. Apart from this, asset quality trends and outlook on spreads would be keenly watched.
Right. Okay, moving on then. Indoco Remedies is showing quite a bounce from the day's low. This This despite the fact that FDA has retained its OAI status of Goa Plant 1. However, Indoco says that it's not going to impact the current supplies to the United States. However, it may withhold the pending ANDAs from the Goa factory. They are in the process of sending responses to regulators. But look at the way the stock has actually bounced. It's seen a sharp spike after this news, and it's now 3.2% higher. Kunal, what are you observing in PFC?
So PFC, REC, both they tend to move in tandem, and I picked up PFC because the fact that the stock which has been absolutely range bound, I think is bouncing off from the support levels yet again. It's placed at around 118, 119 levels currently. I believe a short-term trade could be in play for a target of 124 and stop loss to be kept at 115.
All right, PFC at the day's high. Gaurav, Bata India as well is seeing quite an uptick today. Your view here?
Yeah, basically Bata is one stock that has given excellent return post a sharp correction in September, October last year. The stock is still going strong. It is forming higher tops, higher bottoms on the daily and weekly charts, which is a bullish sign as per the Dow theory. Even in terms of wave structure, the stock is forming wave extension on the upside, which means that the stock still has further upside potential going ahead. Even in fact, the daily momentum indicator has given a fresh buy signal in the last session. So I'm expecting this stock to head towards its weekly upper Bollinger Band, which is near 1510.
Bata India higher by 0.7%, and Gaurav seems to be quite optimistic as well over here. Ambuja Cements, and yes, it's a reaction coming into ACC's weak numbers. This one too is falling. Excuse me, it's down 4.5%, but really this is the trend we're seeing in all cement stocks. So be it Aramco, India Cements, Ultratech is just slightly lower, but yeah, that numbers will come out today. All of these names are weak today in trade, and hence the cement space is a big mover. So Amia, what's the news on Lupin?
Well, a little setback for the company as US FDA has classified Lupin's Pitampura Unit 2 facility as official action indicated. Well, this facility had received a warning letter in November 17 and it was re-inspected in January 2019. Well, this official action indicated implies that the resolution of the there is a delay in the resolution of the pending warning letter. Well, this is, as far as Lupin is concerned, it's down by over 1.3%.
Okay, that's Lupin for you. Not such good news coming in. Gaurav, it's interesting to note the sort of move in BPCL after declining for the last couple of days on account of crude prices. Today, we're seeing a bounce come by. Your view here?
Basically, BPCL is tumbling down in a channelized manner on the daily chart. And on the way down, the stock has fallen below its crucial daily as well as weekly moving averages. Even the momentum indicators on these time frames are in bearish mode. So all these observations suggest that even though today it has bounced back, it can be considered as a fresh selling opportunity. One can initiate a fresh short position near 342, 343 levels with stop loss placed at 354, and short-term target on the downside will be near a weekly lower Bollinger Band, which is also near the lower end of the channel, and the level is at 320.
All right, so that's BPCL. Leela Ventures, meantime, and there's a twist in the tail. Remember that the Brookfield was all set to acquire certain assets in Leela, but now ITC has last minute intervened over here, and they in fact want to buy a stake in Leela as well. So interesting times for Leela, many takers, but just one asset. Let's see who finally turns out to be the last winner. Leela is higher by 1.5%. Kunal, Pidilite Industries for the last few days because of the whole crude rise had declined, but today we're seeing a bounce. Your view?
So yeah, I think it's bouncing back after almost 3 or 4 days of straight decline, and the bounce is happening at exactly the 50-day moving average, which I believe is now a strong support for the stock price. So keeping 1200 approximately 1195 to be precise as a stop loss, which is the 50-day moving average, I believe that this stock would be bought into at current levels for a target of 1240.
Okay, well, unfortunately, with that, we're out of time on this edition of the show. So, Gaurav, thanks so much for joining in with your technical strategies. Soumya and Kunal, to you as well. Coming up next is Markets at Noon.